Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Susan Corbin. I'm Director of the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. And I'm so pleased to be here today with Governor Whitmer and key leaders to talk about Michigan's economic strategy. Over the last year and a half, we've seen a tremendous outpouring of support to make sure all Michiganders have a pathway to prosperity. From implementing the Federal CARES Act to the American Rescue Plan and the recent rollout of Governor Whitmer's Economic Jumpstart Plan. Through all of these investments and more, one thing rang true. Our governor and her administration are working tirelessly to make lasting investments in our families, communities, and small businesses. Investments that create good-paying jobs and make progress on economic issues that far too many hard-working Michiganders are struggling with. Investments that will build Michigan back better. Today's announcement will build on Governor Whitmer's economic policies that are already helping businesses and working people recover from the pandemic. Many of those policies and programs fall within our department. Here at LEO, we're focused on executing the governor's economic agenda, building vibrant communities, addressing housing needs, and supporting small businesses, which is at the heart of our work. I'm honored to serve under Governor Whitmer, and I look forward to working with everybody here as we help fulfill my department's mission to expand economic opportunity and prosperity for all. And with that, I would like to introduce our Governor, Gretchen Whitmer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am really happy to be here with all of you and joined by, of course, Director Corbin and Quentin Messer, the new leader at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Of course, Sandy Brua, thank you for your incredible leadership at the Detroit Regional Chamber and another great event under unusual circumstances. Luke Forrest from CEDM, and I think Wright Lassiter is here somewhere, but awfully glad to be here. From day one as governor of this great state, I've been laser focused on putting the people of Michigan first, the businesses of Michigan first, making this a place where everyone has an opportunity to thrive, to raise a family, and live a high quality of life. And I will work with anyone who is serious about solving problems and addressing the kitchen table issues, whether it's creating good paying jobs, building on our rich manufacturing heritage, investing in schools and child care, expanding access to education and skills training, and of course, fixing the damn roads. All these elements are absolutely essential and instrumental to our economic growth. In 2020, obviously, we faced a new challenge, and that was COVID-19. We tackled this pandemic head on by listening to the experts, following the science, and acting quickly. And studies have shown that the actions we took together saved thousands of lives and helped our families and businesses weather the storm, but it hasn't been easy. We also have been taking bold actions to help small businesses through the pandemic. I worked across the aisle with Republicans to pass COVID relief that provided more than $100 million to small businesses to cover payroll and other expenses. We set up 23 economic relief programs, delivering over $240 million to small businesses in all of our 83 counties. The program supported over 25,000 businesses and retained over 200,000 jobs, with nearly 75% of the dollars going to restaurants, bars, retailers, and other service industry small businesses. We expanded WorkShare, which is such a unique thing we've done in Michigan, to offer employers greater flexibility. This program was a huge success, helping businesses staff up quickly and ensure workers that they had the support they needed in the middle of the unfathomable crisis. WorkShare provided over $550 million, preserved over 110,000 jobs, and helped nearly 2,600 employers retain workers and bring them back to the workforce. And while facing the crisis, we delivered on issues that mattered most to Michigan families. We built on the progress that we made in 2019. We created over 15,000 auto jobs, established the Michigan Reconnect and Futures for Frontliners, putting 167,000 Michiganders and counting, because it's continuing to grow, on a tuition-free path to higher education and skills training. Nearly 23,000 are already enrolled today. We're fighting the chip crisis that's impacting the auto industry and more, helping to open a new chip maker in Bay City, creating 150 jobs and bringing supply chain from China into the state of Michigan. And we've made a $3.5 billion investment in our roads through the Rebuilding Michigan Bond Program, which will support over 45,000 jobs. Now our economy is poised for a once-in-a-generation recovery. Our unemployment rate is below that of the national average and has decreased for 8 straight months. The first quarter of 2021, personal income was up 19.1%. That's the 4th highest nationwide. And our GDP grew 7.6%, the best in the Midwest. We have a $3.5 billion surplus. We were projected 18 months ago to have a $3 billion deficit. We've turned that around. And we're a top 10 state for doing business and still boast the strongest automotive manufacturing nationwide. And now we have a massive influx of federal funds, billions to invest in our families, in our communities, and our small businesses. So today I'm here to announce the My New Economy, an economic agenda that is laser focused on getting Michigan back to work and helping us become the kind of state that we strive to be. My New Economy, that's M-I New Economy, because it's not mine, it's all of ours. It's a comprehensive vision for the state's economy and a plan to meet the opportunity of this moment by growing the middle class, by supporting small businesses, and by investing in our communities. Before we get into it, we have to, of course, take stock of the challenges, because we do have challenges, there's no question. We have a lot going for us, but we have much work left to do. Getting back to where we were pre-COVID isn't enough. We're going to do better. There are too many jobs that just don't pay enough. There aren't enough workers to fill open jobs, and aren't enough workers with the necessary skills to fill the high-skilled jobs that are available. We need to support more entrepreneurship, and we need to provide housing that is affordable, attainable, and accessible. In Michigan today, too many small businesses can't scale up or have trouble attracting their workforce, and too many communities are struggling. And that's why we all need to be a part of tackling these fundamentals. These are not inherently partisan issues. They rise above partisanship, and we must as well. So to tackle these, we've got to work together by growing our economy. And now I want to talk about the My New Economy proposal. This will allow us to harness our extraordinary potential and usher in a new era of prosperity for the state that we all love. I mentioned the 3 key pillars of the plan earlier: grow our middle class, support small businesses, and invest in our communities. The plan sets strong but attainable goals, backed by data and informed in partnership with the business community. By identifying the challenges that we face, I know we can work towards solutions that will allow us to grow the middle class and lift 1 million Michigan families out of working poverty. Help us attain our 60 by 30 goal of having 60% of our working age workforce earn a post-secondary education or skills training by 2030. Deliver low or no cost childcare to 100,000 families. Become a top 10 state for small business growth, revenue growth, and venture capital funding in 5 years. And build 75,000 new or rehabilitated housing units. Continue growing our household income and ensure 100% access to high-speed internet in 5 years in every part of the state. These are the goals. So how do we get there? Well, we've already started. My administration has been working on these issues since day one, and we've put forward a new set of ideas, as I said, in conjunction with the business community to help our state make even more progress. So a couple highlights of the My New Economy plan. To grow the middle class, we're expanding the Michigan Reconnect and Futures for Frontliners to put more people on a tuition-free path to a good-paying job. Growing the Going Pro, that's a little hard to say, credential program to address the skills gap and strengthening the college to industry pipeline. To support small businesses, we're pitching the Michigan Main Street Initiative to give grants to our smallest businesses and our entrepreneurs, investing in startups and electric vehicles, and help employers in emerging industries attract the talent they need and to retain that talent. To invest in communities, we're building affordable housing units, rehabilitating vacant buildings, redeveloping brownfield sites, and putting resources to create more energy-efficient homes. Now, the My New Economy Plan is a good start and makes progress on all these economic challenges we face. I look forward to working with all of you to get it done. We've got an incredible opportunity right now, and we cannot waste it. The reasoning behind this plan is as important as what is actually in it. Over the past couple of decades, we've seen our state walk away from the rich tradition that helped build the middle class, that made us the arsenal of democracy, and put the world on wheels. Michigan should be a state that builds things, that creates prosperity for all, that solves problems and invests in ourselves. The way we got to this plan is by spending the summer listening. Whether it was Lieutenant Governor's tour across the state engaging with small businesses, or Leo's My Small Business Summer Tour, we met with small business owners, entrepreneurs, corporate leaders all across the state to get their input. This plan was built piece by piece based on real-world conversations and input from the business community. They all talked about how they want to invest and expand in communities where there is a talented, highly skilled workforce, a rich ecosystem of economic opportunity, and a solid quality of life. We have that capability. We can build a state where innovations, energy, and talent live, where the best minds and the biggest private sector players come together to build the future, where every child has a great public education and every parent has access to quality, affordable childcare. Every family has a safe, affordable place to call home, clean water coming out of their taps, stunning places to relax and unwind, and where every driver is safe on the roads and every worker has the skills they need to succeed. We can do these things. We must do these things. But to get it done, we gotta work together to make it happen. As we speak, the legislature is starting the process of voting on the state budget. We negotiated together in good faith, and this budget makes bold investments in Michigan's families, in our communities, and in our small businesses. And I'm looking forward to signing this budget. Next, we must continue in the spirit of collaboration that we used to get this budget done and put the billions of dollars that we have from the federal government to work. We've laid out plans to use those resources. $1.4 billion to expand child care, $1.4 billion to expand mental health resources and build up local public health departments, $400 million into our state and local parks and public lands, protecting pure Michigan, and helping recreation business thrive. And of course, $2.1 billion in the My New Economy Plan to close the skills gap, lift up small businesses, and support communities. Together, the bipartisan budget plan that is being voted on now in Lansing, and this opportunity with the federal dollars can put Michigan in the driver's seat. This is an opportunity, and I'm excited about where we are and the chance to talk about it with all of you who helped inform it. So I appreciate the opportunity to tell you a little bit about what tomorrow. I'll be talking a little bit about the how, and I look forward to it, and thank you all. And with that, it was longer than I usually speak at a press conference. I'm going to hand it over to Sandy Barua, the leader of the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce.
It's been 28 months since we did this, so I want to thank you all for being here and playing along with our protocols. It has been a tremendous time to be governor, and I just want to thank you for your incredible leadership, your hard work. No governor in Michigan's history has had to deal with so much and in such a polarized political environment, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the state of Michigan has tremendous opportunities and challenges right before us. This global pandemic has shifted fundamentally the landscape of our economy, of our social and racial justice situation, of our education situation, the dynamics around our workforce talent. And these challenges need to be addressed, And despite the incredible challenges we have in this state, we still don't have enough of our fellow neighbors with the skills and the degrees and the job opportunities that they need, and frankly, we all need as Michiganders for our state to succeed. And this opportunity we have is multifold. We have unprecedented federal dollars flowing into the state, coupled with some smart, forward-looking policies from the Whitmer administration and the close engagement of the business community provide us the opportunity to use these new and existing resources in a strategic way, and I want to stress strategic way, that allows Michigan to be one of the winners in the 21st century global economy. The governor's my new economy plan provides a very promising framework that does use these dollars in a very strategic way to address these challenges that I just enumerated and I think we all share and all agree must be addressed. The Detroit Regional Chamber stands ready to work with the governor and her team in seeing this plan move forward, and we thank her for her leadership. And with that, I get to turn over the podium to Luke Forrest. Luke?
Thanks, Sandy. I want to say thanks to all your team for working so hard on putting together this event in challenging circumstances. And thank you to the governor and Susan and Jonathan and the whole team at Leo for including us and working so hard on a thoughtful strategic plan. I want to underline the word Sandy used, strategic here. We do have a tremendous opportunity. So my name is Luke Forrest. I represent the Community Economic Development Association of Michigan, CEDM for short. Why am I here? Because I represent hundreds of local community-based grassroots organizations. We've been talking to them the last 2 years about what they need, and the message is pretty clear. We need strong, vibrant communities. We need the state to invest in those communities to bring up the income level of all Michigan households, excuse me. So I think that the key here is to look forward strategically, invest strategically. Our organizations across the state stand ready to work with the governor, her team, and the legislature. And I want to stress that this is bipartisan. Every community, every corner of the state tells us the same thing. Large or small, red or blue, white or black, everyone's telling us the same thing. We need this investment in strong, vibrant communities. Thanks, Governor, and we look forward to working with you on this.
Okay, Tiffany Brown says we've got time for a few questions.
Governor, could you comment on the transparency of this budget process? It was a pretty closed process. The document wasn't released until this morning when it started moving. Is this what we're going to have to look forward to going forward?
Well, you know what, certainly we're in unusual times, right? The circumstances of the last 2 years have made a lot of things that we're used to, unusual. And I think it's important that people have an opportunity to digest what is in the budget and see what the priorities are. I'm looking forward to when it becomes more public. We wanted to negotiate. Those negotiations were in good faith. They were bipartisan. They were very productive. They weren't always easy, but that's the nature of a negotiation. But I'm really pleased with how this budget ended up. I wanted to give the legislature the ability to inform their members before sharing too much widely so that they could do what they needed to do to get their members up to speed. They're the ones who are going to be taking votes today and tomorrow, and so I wanted to honor the confidentiality that we agreed to. But I do think with the committees starting today, you'll have an opportunity to really digest what is in these budgets, and I'm excited because it really does invest in a lot of the things that I'm talking about right now around the Michigan New Economy Plan, investing in communities, investing in our workforce and our small businesses. That's what it's all about, and that's what this budget largely focuses on, and it's going to be a great budget for the state.
Governor, this is not part of the budget deal that we made with the legislative leadership. How does this fit in with that?
Correct. So we've got two things that are happening at the same time, right? We've got an opportunity with the state budget, which we all know we turned from a $3 billion projected deficit 18 months ago to a $3.5 billion surplus. We delivered $17 billion investment in education earlier this summer. The rest of the budget is getting completed this week, and we'll do our job to make sure everything's in order before I sign it next week. But in addition to the state budget, we've got these billions of dollars that the American Rescue Plan has sent to states that we have an opportunity to deploy. And instead of just coming up with one person's priorities or another person's priorities or one branch's priorities, we wanted to work with the business community, with leaders across the state, and make sure that we put forth a framework to prioritize all investments. So the good news is that this budget largely works in conjunction with that type of framework. But what we're really focusing on are these additional federal dollars that we need to deploy. And so it's great that the budget's getting done. Next order of business is to deploy these American Rescue Plan resources and get them out. And focusing in these spaces is really the best way to strengthen our economy and create opportunity for everyone. We need lots of opportunities and bipartisan work together on all of these fronts with the legislature, absolutely. Yes, Rick? Well, Rick, you know, the nice thing is that there continues to be the possibility of additional opportunities, right? If the infrastructure plan is passed, that would be a great way to infuse additional resources into building up our infrastructure across Michigan. This budget will have a little piece of infrastructure. What we could do with the current ARP dollars is we could do some work in infrastructure, but there may be an additional opportunity in that space. So I've proposed a number of things informed by the conversations that are happening right here around supporting small businesses, closing the skills gap, making sure that we're investing in community. And that's what the child care investment is, that's what the affordable housing investment is. All of these pieces are a part of that. Total number, though, I mean, it's very difficult to pinpoint because I can tell you what has come in, but there's also all of this possibility on the horizon as well. Well, I'm heartened to see that there are so many school districts that have embraced mask mandates in their schools. I think that it's important that it happens at the local level. The Biden administration has made a determination. We have not yet seen verbiage in terms of what the Department of Labor is going to promulgate. We will have to get Michigan in alignment with that. And at this juncture, I think it remains to be seen exactly what that looks like and what the timing looks like. I can't tell you either, but we want to work with the business community. We want to keep people safe and we want to strengthen our economy. And so making sure that we are in alignment with the federal government is what we have to do when it becomes clear what exactly that is.
Is there language in the budget that you agreed to that would limit government's ability to require vaccinations of employees at different levels? My understanding that there is language in the budget that says that. Why did you agree to that?
We had some discussions around various aspects that are in the budget. We did not come to agreement on certain things. We did on others. At this point, when the budget is shared more broadly, I'll be happy to delve in a little deeper with you at that juncture.
But Governor, would you be willing to sign the budget if it has that language of preventing governments issuing a vaccine mandate?
You're doing a great job trying to pin me down. And I applaud that. But I'm going to let the budget become public before I weigh in on precisely our determination on all the different pieces of the budget. We will do our review. It will not be a surprise to the people with whom we've negotiated. And ultimately, you'll get a chance to ask more specific questions and maybe try to pin me down tomorrow.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.